Hello YouTube, last video of not only the year, but looks like the entire decade. So, December 30th, 2019. Time to reflect on the ups, the downs, the tragedies, and more that happened with your girl. Starting off with the fact that this face is still jacked up. It's like, obviously, I still have not been able to afford the laser hair removal. So that was the first failure of the year, which was brought by the second failure of the year was because I could not get my car to go up to, because for y'all that don't know, I live in North Carolina. And not only do I live in North Carolina, I live in shitty ass Fayetteville. So it's not even the fact that I didn't even have the money. It's the fact that nobody does laser hair removal on dark skin in Fayetteville that is, how can I say, skilled at it. There is a couple places, but I called and gave them the 20-point questions about what machine do you use, what is your jewel settings, is the machine manufactured in America, this, that, and the third. Honey, all of them failed. So I did not feel comfortable. So I branched out to Raleigh. Found the person in Raleigh. And, several black workers, everything. They showed me before and afters. They got the questions right about what is the settings that you're supposed to use on black skin. This, that, and the third. They passed with flying colors. Problem is, I could never get up to damn Raleigh because I don't got no damn car. So, that what fucked up that this year. And of course, this was after, I didn't make it past my test with conduit at the beginning of the year. And then I went back to doing some aesthetics. And then I went and took a rather unconventional job at the chicken plant because of the pay was more consistent. It came with the benefits. I wanted to get my teeth done, which is another fail of the year. Still got this darn on broken tooth over here, which I hope qualifies for me to get an implant because technically it's still a little bit of tooth remaining. So since it hasn't fully broken off, I'm hoping that it lasts just a couple more months. So because the way that the insurance I'm looking at is set up, I'm able to qualify for an implant only if they remove a tooth first. So if this breaks off before then I'm screwed, because then it's like that darn on tooth is going to cost $3,200. It's considered cosmetic. Normally, most dental insurances, though, not even allow you to use that on a dental plan, but considering that this one actually does, but the caveat is you actually have to be having one or more teeth removed. I might be having this one at the top removed as well, so that might still qualify me, even if this last one at the bottom breaks off beforehand. But before I get the two implants in my mouth, I want my teeth bleached first. That way the implants can match the bleach, the bleach level of the teeth. So, and I know that ain't going to be covered by insurance, so that's about $300 that I have to do. And then the co-pays for both both dentist appointments might have to be $3. Because regular cleaning, and then I might have to be fitted for it. Then, just off chance that I have to do 3 dentist appointments. I'm looking at about $225 in co-pays. The implants are normally about $2,000 to $3,000 each. But with the discount dental plan, on top of the dental plan, I'll probably only be on the hook for about $700 when it's all said and done. Which, of course, I'm hoping that they will allow me to make payments on versus all worldwide. The problem is with dental insurance at dental places, a lot of them don't do payment. They all be wanting the money all up front. I can't do that. So I've been stressing about that in regards to my teeth. My teeth ain't the baddest in the world, but they damn sure they far from the best. And it's like within my field, it is rather, a sensitive subject because it's like aesthetics. Everything about you supposed to be aesthetically cute. My teeth are not cute. It's bad enough my hair done left me, and I've been dealing with, what turns out might be possible male. Then that down the first cosmetologist, but she wasn't specialized in the subject. She factoring in, my cancer history, my Crohn's disease history. Crohn's do have a side effect of Crohn's is hair loss. So we was thinking it might be that. But the way that it is actually falling out might be possible male pattern baldness, which I would have been able to possibly rule. Now, on my maternal side, I don't see the genetic markers for it. My paternal side, turns out I could not determine because of the fact that my mother lied to me my whole life and made me believe that my older brother's father was also mine. So due to her crackheaded antics of, withholding that information until I was 18, and then I found out the other person was, and then even though he's in Fayetteville for whatever reason, I don't know what my mother did when she was young, where I'm the only person that he does not want to get to know. And it's like, it doesn't help that, a diva is on a damn budget. So I can't go out my way to try to be, on my Ashley Darby from Real Housewives of Potomac, trying to take road trips and shit to try to darn on pop up on somebody. So the best I did was I tried to connect with people on Ancestry, through my second cousins on my paternal side, to get in contact with him. Did not work out too well. Still have not been able to converse with him to this day. So it's like, I don't know what to say of that right there. And it's like, it's like, how can I say it? That was just a issue with me within itself, because it's like, I don't want nothing from you except for the right to know my medical history. Where it gets complicated is the fact that he is somewhat well off financially, and I think maybe the fear might be of me coming in and thinking I want to pay, and that's never been me. Y'all know I've always been a prideful Capricorn, even to my detriment. Even when I went through homelessness, I was the type not to take no payments from nobody. I was the type that, you ain't about to see me set up no GoFundMe, nothing. I get my way on out of this. Like, I'm darn on self-sufficient to a darn on fault. And that's a reason why I've always struggled as far as I've done. I mean, as long as I have. Because number one, I don't like taking no money from anybody. Number two, is like, hell, even if I was, it's like the damn show family here wouldn't be no damn help on this regard. And I'm thinking maybe it might be that, because it's like the fact of who my mother might be, that he might think I'm darn gonna trying to reach out for a payday or something. Considering that, from what I've heard of my biological father, he has like well over 8 to 10 different kids by over 6 different baby mamas. Yeah, a true rolling stone. But he, for the most part, has been financially providative. He's been financially, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think none today, y'all. I've also been doing some other stuff around the house today, just all types of discombobulated. But he's been financially there for all his other children. But then again, it's like, maybe he did not have the experiences with their mother the way he had with mine. Because, and then it's like several of the other ones were also addicts. And, they drug of choice, crack cocaine, some not. Some were actually, professionals, worked in the nursing field and all that. So he got around quite a bit from what I'm, gathering. Like, he darn gone had babies with established darn gone, professional women. And then he had, with not so established, with the lower. And my mother, unfortunately was among the low of the pole, honey. But it makes me wonder, like, what in the hell did she do where he does not even want to see me Because I'm thinking, well, hell, it can't be anything that I've done. And then I thought, well, maybe it might be because of who I am, as far as my gender identity and, me when I finally get my money, the transition and all that's going to happen. I thought that might be the case. Because it's one thing to accept a child is gay. It's a whole nother thing in the South to accept a child is transgender. But I was like, well, damn, he don't even know me that well to even know that part, though. Hell, my own darn own personal family don't even know about the transgender spectrum just yet. So it's like, damn sure can't know that. Maybe thinking about the gayness. But then I find out, no, he actually has one darn own daughter that's a full-out butch lesbian. And then I think I heard through the grapevine a gay son and then a confirmed gay first cousin that he don't have no problems with. So it's not the sexuality. It's not that he ain't never been around me to know about the gender identity. So it's like, well, damn. The only thing I can think of is due to this. So it's like this darn demon even ruins that for me as far as being able to know my medical history. Now, granted, would the extra money be nice if he was to be gracious enough to help a girl out as far as, getting my business and shit off the ground? Yes, it would. But am I the type to come in and think I'm automatically obligated to that? No. It's like, hell, it's far too late now for all of that. It's like a bitch is in her 20s. It would be nice if you still want to do that, but I'm not coming into the picture for that. But what is most important is in regards to my health, because it's like, I think at the minimum, you should be obligated to tell me about your darn on medical history. It's like, bitch, you don't got to give me not one darn on dime. For whatever reason, you want to give all your other siblings houses and cars and all of this, darn on give them $5,000 or $10,000. I think the least that I'm owed is my medical history. It's like, I don't want a dime. I want to darn work on my own, but it's been hard for me to do that because of the medical issues that I have suffered that are not linked to my maternal side, but is linked to my paternal side. But I can't even darn ask no paternal questions about the medical history because I can't get in contact with him. And then it's like this one, my darn soap. And you know how they call fathers who are absentee sperm donors? I'm going to need to create a term for a mother who ain't nothing but an egg. You know what? That's what I'm going to start calling her from now on. The egg donor. Because she ain't never been like a maternal figure. She's been more like a, how can I say it? A strange roommate. That darn gone bothersome sister. Like, I grew up more with my grandmother and my great-grandmother. And she's always been more like that darn older sister type versus, a motherly figure for the most part. And I know that might be harsh to say considering she's done let me be in here a couple months now without contributing nothing financially. So I will give her that. But then I can't even give her that because it's like you in part caused me my damn job. So we ain't even got into that situation yet. But before we get into that, stick it back on to the father. It's like one darn on person you believe was my father that is your older son's father. He wasn't never there. And I'm talking about not even emotionally. It's like not a birthday card, not nothing. So it's like, it's like I had to deal with that mental growing up. It's like my mother's so fucked up. Where it's like she done drove not one but two men away where they did not want no contact with her ass at all. I'm talking about no phone contact, no nothing. And it's like, and she is a Pisces, so she's very true to Pisces form because it's like, honey, that's beyond crack at this point because it's like he got fellow crack. And I hate to say it like that because I don't know the other baby mamas or whatever. So this ain't nothing with any malicious intent, just in case in the future any one of my half siblings look at my video. But, he has other crackheads as darn gone baby mamas. And it's like, you ain't treated none of them like this. But for whatever reason, you want to exile me because of what she done. And it's like, this is why I can't stand crackheads. I can't, because it's like, the drug is so damaging that it affects darn on your children and everybody around you. Even situations like it, you could damage your body and all that, but it's like when it comes to situations like this, where I need to get access to my medical history and all this, that, and the third, it makes it increasingly hard on me because of the fact that I don't have those funds to try to darn on seek out this darn on man to ask about my medical histories and stuff. You darn on know about, like, it's weird that everybody seems to know about this family but me in the same town that I live in, and nobody don't want to give me no information because of this darn on CA. So it's like you purposely darn on have people shut their mouths up in trying to give me information. That's okay. I still keep it pushing any damn way. I say, okay, I'll find a way around this. It might take a little bit longer, but I just go ahead and get some, genetic testings and stuff done without having to go through trying to. It would be a lot easier through my darn on father to know his genetic markers and stuff like that, and darn on cross compare. But it's like, okay, I can just do this on my own then. So that's what I decided to do. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and go to the chicken plant. Girl, we in Fayetteville, the services are not coming through like that. Then I couldn't keep up with the all space with working out there in the booth rental. And then it's like I could have done some stuff at home, which I did occasionally take clients from the house. But the problem is my neighbor, who was an older gentleman, he done moved back in with his sister and allowed his, grandchildren, which is a whole different situation within itself. But he done allowed his grandchildren to become the neighbors. And it's like, now my little small parking lot, I don't have, I can't even if I get a car, it's like, where in the hell I'm going to park my damn car? They got like 4 cars. My mother got 1 car that she parks in the front. So that leaves me. And then it's like, well, I can park it in front of the, right before the mailbox. No, my darn gone deadbeat cousin got his damn gone truck sitting there for the past 2 months. And it's like, God damn it. My uncle darn gone for the past year and a half had his darn gone truck sitting right next to our window for the longest. He finally gets rid of that damn shit. Finally have a darn gone parking space only for my darn gone, for the main neighbor to leave and let his darn gone apartment be subleased to his grandchildren, who done took up all the darn gone parking space. So now it's like I can't even focus on getting a car because it's like, now bitch, I don't even got no damn parking space. The deadbeat cousin won't get his darn gone truck. He done it. And then there's another thing. This motherfucker been sober for years. Now, he's been on and off in the church or whatever. And he's done crack in the past, but he's done a got off. He was the one that went with me to Pilgrims. And, we both got a job out there. And, we went through training and everything together, right? Now, he went and became day shift. He went and became day shift, and I was afternoon shift. So we couldn't darn gonna ride after that. And that's where I had to start, trying to find a ride. Unfortunately, one of my classmates, and then, if y'all on my business channel, y'all know the rest of the story. Unfortunately, she had a dire situation with one of her children. She had to leave during the second day of us out at work. That left me without a ride. Quickly had to scramble to get another ride. The stress of that, along with not eating right, my Crohn's disease is starting to flare out of control. So I'm stressing, my Crohn's is out of control, not eating the proper way, done lost the rapid rate, which is not good for somebody who suffers from all the, suffering from all the debilitating diseases that I have, And then sure enough, y'all know what happened then. I had end up darn gone passing out on the job, nearly died, busted my head open. Fortunately, somebody caught me. Actually, several people, they said, caught me. Managed to transfer me to the emergency area in our darn gone workstation. They had to take me out by ambulance. Confirmed that I had a full grand mal seizure on the darn assembly line. Got cleared. Went through all of that of getting cleared to go back to work Monday, only for the darn nurse to give me the darn runaround, put me in an impossible situation of trying to get cleared by another general practitioner. I done explained how that was bullshit, because a general practitioner is the first entry level of practice in a doctor's office. You're not asking me to go to a specialist to get confirmed whether I can come back here or not. You was the one that told me if I go in the ambulance and get cleared, that would be enough to suffice for me to come back to work on Monday, because all this shit happened to me on a Friday. I got cleared that night. They put me on the EKG machines. They gave me the memory test and everything that happens with somebody, you know, who has a seizure, right? I was given a clean bill of health. Now, the same motherfucking nurse come Monday when I come in. Now, mind you, I'm from Fayetteville. And Sanford is nearly an hour away. So you wait until I had to travel all the way an hour out. I'm about to clock into work for you to pull me back into your nursing station and tell me that my doctor's note is not enough to suffice because it comes from a hospitalist. Even though a hospitalist is the same general title as a general practitioner. The only difference is a general practitioner operates from a private facility and a hospitalist operates from a public facility. And I guess she thought I was black, that I wouldn't know that type of medical terminology. But for y'all that's been following me for the longest, y'all know that my first passion was I was studying to become a licensed medical veterinarian. My minor was going to be in chemistry and also marine biology. So, bitch, I might be a southern bitch that can't formulate my words half the time, but honey, I'm far from darn gone dumb. I'm very darn gone articulate when need be. I might not be able to place my darn gone words together half the time because a bitch was a C average student when it came to English. But bitch, don't darn gone confuse that with me being illiterate. Just because I'm southern, I'm very country, bitch, don't take me for an illiterate bitch. I know the darn definition of a hospitalist and a general practitioner. Bitch, they are both the first point of entry in darn medicine. You ain't talking to no damn dummy. But instead, she still wants to give me the runaround talking about, oh, you know, you need to go to your primary care doctor. But we only going to give you 3 days to go to your primary care doctor. We're going to put you out on medical leave for 3 days to get into your doctor. Okay, most people know that your doctor is usually backed up 2 weeks to a couple months in advance, unless you already have an appointment set up. And if you really need to see if you really need medical attention, they will actually recommend you go to urgent care if you cannot wait that recommended time frame. So, of course, my primary doctor is backed up 3 weeks. But y'all want me to somehow be able to get in within 3 days. Which, once again, is an impossible request for you to put upon somebody. And then I said, well, they're recommending me to go to urgent care. But then you're denying that, oh, no, we can't accept a note from urgent care. Why can't you when both of them are still general practitioners? Because you're not asking me to go to a neurologist. Now, I can understand if she was asking me to go to a neurologist, but she never asked me to go to a neurologist, which is a specialist that deals with neurological disorders, which would make sense because I had a grand mal seizure. But she did not request for me to go to a neurologist. You asked me to go to a general practitioner, which is the same as a hospitalist, except one operates in a private facility, one operates in a public facility. Now, once again, why do you want to darn gone deny me this darn gone me going back to work? So, needless to say, I end up being let go because I could not darn gone get to a doctor within 3 days to see me. And they was denying a hospital note for whatever reason, even though both of them are technically the same darn gone people. The hospital even more qualified because they have the machines that most private facilities do not. I done came in with my paperwork showing my EKGs and everything else. Honey, blood work, urine sample, and everything. So just in case they wanted to try to accuse me of being on any drugs, honey, I ain't never took drugs a day in my motherfucking life. Matter of fact, when we when we signed up for the damn job, the first thing they gave us was an impromptu urinalysis test, which I passed with flying colors. Because a bitch don't even smoke cigarettes. I haven't took a drink of alcohol in over 2 damn years. They even did a breathalyzer for alcohol. And they didn't even have, and it came up 0 because last time I had alcohol was back in 2017. So they took another urinalysis at the hospital, took a full-on blood sample. Bitch, you can darn gonna pluck a hair follicle and go back a couple years. You ain't about to find nothing. But just because they didn't want to risk it, they sent my ass off. I could have darn gone fight it if I had the resources. But of course, once again, the darn gone sea hag not letting me darn gone use her car while she's at work. That put me in more of a difficult situation. That what made my darn gone financial difficulties throughout the rest of the damn year. Because my own darn gone mother wouldn't allow me to darn gone fight the damn situation. So now you're bitching and complaining that all the bills are on you. But when you could have helped the girl darn gone maintain her employment, because the doctors did recommend, the hospital did recommend I follow up with a neurologist, which was a specialist. And it would have cost me $100 out of pocket to see them. But it would have been worth it to maintain a job that's $14 an hour. And that would have definitely sufficed. And that's another thing. I asked them, they was like, no, you can't go to a specialist either. That is bullshit. So right there, I knew that they was trying to give me the runaround. Because it's like, why in the hell are you denying every type of doctor I can go to but a primary practitioner, which would not know anything about my history of seizures, because I only been with them since 2014. I haven't had a darn gone seizure since 2012. So my primary practitioner would not know nothing more than what the darn gone hospitalist nor the neurologist would have known. But both of those people would have been more qualified on the subject to know, because of the fact that the hospital darn gone saw me immediately after the event. They picked me up from the darn gone plant. So naturally they would be more primitive to knowing more about the situation and my condition immediately following the event, since they was the first people that saw me on the spot. Also, a neurologist will be more qualified to be able to give me the all clear, because that's what they specialize in. But you're still bitching and complaining, trying to darn gone tell me I had to go get cleared by my primary care doctor, even though I have not had a seizure since before I've been with this particular primary care physician. Let it make sense. Like I said, I might be a southern bitch, but I'm not a dumb bitch by any means. But my darn gone dumbass mother darn gone didn't allow me to push the issue to maintain my damn employment. And this is what led me to now being unemployed for 6 months. And of course, I can go back during January 5th, because I guess, let me see, 3 days. Technically, the rehiring policy out there is I can be hired back on if it wasn't due to nothing substantial. Like if I didn't, abandon my post, if I didn't fight anybody, or I wasn't caught, intoxicated or high or anything of that regard, that would be automatic disbarment from being able to apply. I can reapply within 6 months. So I would be eligible to reapply out there. Let me see. It's the 30th now. It's either Wednesday or Thursday in January. So just literally a couple days after my birthday. My birthday's on the 12th. And I'll be eligible to reapply either the 15th or the 16th. And this time I will be more prepared with, going to a doctor beforehand, just in case they remember my face. Cause it be my look that darn gone bitch is still out there, honey. And I got one of those faces that are quite memorable. That's one thing I do not like about myself, is like, for whatever reason, I'm very introverted, antisocial, but people still remember my face. I don't talk that much at all. I just work, but bitches remember my face. So on the off chance of that, I want to go to a doctor first. Get the all clear. That way, if they darn gonna still try to give me that bullshit about they need a doctor's note, here you go. Go ahead and give me the impromptu urinalysis, put me back on. So that's one thing that I'm looking to do at the beginning of the new year, is probably get back out there and deal with the stress for the meantime, for a couple months of how I'm going to get out there. Now I know y'all saying, well, why don't I drive? Why don't I go out there with my mother? My mother works on the hot side. Y'all know I have eczema. Once again, amongst the many darn on conditions that put me in a debilitative state. So obviously I can't work on the hot side for those reasons right there. I can't work in the what's it called, the live hanging, because of, once again, it will flare up my Crohn's. That's the position that my cousin took, was live hanging, before he got transferred to the water plant within the past month. But I couldn't do no live hanging with him because of, obviously, my Crohn's. Can't be in the hot section because my darn eczema will flare up like nobody's business. My eczema has already been flaring up enough with this bipolar weather that we have right here in North Carolina. Y'all see I got on short sleeves today. It is over 74 degrees outside. But just a couple days ago, it was darn 40-some degrees. Then it was 70-some degrees. Then the news today said we about to get a cold front again. So this bipolar weather is crazy. It's literally 70-some degrees one day, 40-some degrees the next day. That rapid change in temperature is irritating to my darn eczema enough. The stress of going through this flares up my Crohn's. And then dealing with all her darn shit flares up the Crohn's. Because my darn Crohn's, anybody who knows about Crohn's disease, is not just intestinal. A lot of people know about the intestinal part of Crohn's, but they don't know about the fact that Crohn's can also be triggered by stress as well. So I think it's neurological when something is stress related. So, Crohn's is very multifaceted. Like, it can be brought on by stress. It can be brought on by food. It can be brought on by, subsequent pain conditions, like with my not my eczema. See, I got so many darn conditions that I get darn confused. But with my epilepsy, the trauma of my body, stiffening up and darn going through, a grand mal seizure, it then caused the stress reaction of flaring up my Crohn's as well. So the epilepsy, I had to get that under control. That took, a minute to make sure I was not becoming, triggered by, flashing lights and stuff like that. I had to make sure I was well qualified to not deal with any of that. Because that's another thing that will make my life even more difficult. Because if I started having more frequent seizures, then, it will make it where I can't get a car. And it's like y'all see the stress a bitch is going through right now without having a damn car. It's like I couldn't get my laser hair removal because of the fact that I can't travel out that far. Couldn't even go to the neurologist, the darn get this, because that's the only darn place I would have been able to get into within the time frame to being able to argue to keep my darn job out there. But this demon did not even want the darn help me go back out the same. Now, mind you, they was open on Saturday. And she works Monday through Friday, I understand that. But she didn't even want the darn travel there on a Saturday, even though it would have darn guaranteed I would have kept my darn job. I would have been able to argue and darn got myself back in the damn door. But she rather that I be in a darn dependable state off of her, because she enjoys keeping me darn here for whatever darn reason. I never understood that shit. You would think most parents will want their children out the damn house, but this bitch does everything to keep me in this house. Y'all can't tell me otherwise. It's like I've never seen another situation like mine where the parent goes out their way to block their child from darn progressing in any type of darn way. It's like, even when I had a job that they said, okay, we want you, your qualifications are good, except the location is in Raleigh. Now, mind you, my mother does not use her car to go to work. I could have traveled out there with the car. It was 4 days a week. it was paying $20 an hour. So the difference with the gas mileage and all of that, I would have averaged and then the thing is the benefits did not deduct from my pay, because at Pilgrims your benefits actually deducted from your pay, but the benefits out at this job that wanted to hire me within a medical aesthetics office was doggone included. And she didn't doggone allow me to get that one. So you can imagine the hell, and I know I sound like a broken record to my people who watch me all the time, because I done mentioned some of these stories before. But this is just me reiterating my darn year-end review of all the shit that I've dealt with in 2019, what I'm trying to overcome in 2020, why a girl is 26 and still at home. Because when people mention about 26 and being at home, people always put it on the blame of the child, talking about, well, the child ain't doing nothing, the child is late. Because I hear these discussions on YouTube, and it always make me feel some type of way when I hear these bitches complain about, 26-year-olds at home, because they never think about the darn girls like me that be 26 and is literally at no fault of my own. It's like a bitch had a damn seizure that put me out of damn work. And then it's like, then I have a crack addict mother that did not want to waste the time to even take me out to a doggone neurologist that get the all clear. Because she just simply didn't want the doggone travel out there. She was already mad when they doggone, didn't allow me to work that Monday, and they had to come all the way to Sanford to pick me up, because it's like, and I'm glad they allowed me to stay in the damn building. Usually when somebody is let go from the job, you actually have to walk off the building. And then the thing is about Pilgrims is they own that whole street. So it's like I would have had to walk for miles off the darn gone facility to get picked up if I was formally fired. But thankfully, the way that they let me go was so vague under the circumstances of, okay, you got 3 days to go, get a doctor from your primary care physician, even though most primary care physicians cannot see you within such a good time frame. So due to the fact that they let me go like that and I wasn't officially fired, I was able to still maintain my employment status and darn gonna wait in the waiting lounge, and somebody could pick me up on the facility. But if I was fired as if they had to take my badge right there at that moment, a bitch would have had to walk over 2 miles to get off of their motherfucking premises for somebody to pick a girl up. Now, a bitch would have been real heated, honey. A bitch would have been real heated if I had to do a darn gone walk. And it was the summertime, too. And I told y'all, a bitch eczema flares up in the damn heat. And y'all gonna walk me off this motherfucker darn gone premises, and I can't even be on y'all street. I had to walk off the whole damn street. Oh, hell fuck no. And then it's like right off y'all street is a motherfucking highway. Oh no, bitch. Yeah, y'all really tripping. I would have really been darn gone. Honey, I might would have had to darn gone fight somebody up in that bitch. But fortunately, it didn't come to that. I was able to stay in the darn gone nice, cool air up until somebody darn gone, my uncle came to get me. He could have kept that dragon at home, honey. Cause that dragon ain't caused me nothing but damn gone stress this whole entire 2019. Cause like I said, immediately got an offer in my dream field. Could not accept it because of the fact that she wouldn't let me use the damn car. You see how much a car really matters in situations like this? A car could have got a bitch back employed with a better job within less than 1 month. I got that offer around the first week of August. So it wasn't even about 3 weeks that I was already out from Pilgrims that I was already fixing to be back employed. Cause the bitch ain't about sitting around. Honey, I was out as soon as I knew the writing was on the wall with this darn gone company give me to run around. Bitch was already on Indeed.com, bitch was on Craigslist, bitch was on darn gone everything to try to get back in the place because bitch wanted to get some stuff done. I deserve to get my darn gone this hair removed, get my teeth right, because once again, as an esthetician, looks does matter in my damn field. A bitch darn on already dealing with hair issues. I can't deal with that right now. That's already too costly, darn on enough. I can't go through, the PRP therapy right now. I can't go through the hundreds of dollars of items. Let's deal with the stuff that people going to immediately see. I can easily put a wig on over this, but bitch, I can't darn on put nothing over this. I mean, granted, makeup, but it's like, as an esthetician, you want to show your natural clear skin. You don't always want to be caked up, honey. So it's like, that would have been contradictory if I always be caked. And then it's like, that still don't do nothing for my teeth as well. Once again, the flaws of being in the beauty industry. You always got to keep yourself kept up. And that was another thing. It was like, I can't do hair because obviously the insecurity of me missing a whole darn on section. I'm a bitch that had 20 some inches with darn on 2 inches in the damn middle. And then I've ended up cutting my hair short to compensate for that because it was starting to break and all of that. So now my hair is about, 15 inches. I done cut off about 5 inches. No, I cut off about 3 and then 2 of it broke. So I now down to 15, and then hopefully I go ahead and bleach the fuck out of this, because now I'm to the point where it's like, maybe if I do a whole drastic change, that'll project a change in my darn on future. So the goal for 2020 is, I don't know how, don't ask me why, but a bitch is going to go blonde. And you would think, well, how's that going to work if I'm bald in the middle? Wouldn't that emphasize the baldness? I don't know how that's going to work. And then I'm not about to do no Mickey the Barber type shit and cut off the remainder in the hair, because here's the issue with my hair. My follicles are not dead. So it would not benefit me to cut off this and put on a unit over here, because when you put the glue on, because I know some people asked me about that with the man weaves and stuff. I would not want to be a good candidate for that because of the fact that my follicles are actually alive. People who have full-on baldness, their hair is not growing back, period. But I actually still have hair follicles. They're just in a dormanted state, and they have stayed that way for the past year and a half now. But they're still active. Versus certain sections, I noticed that there aren't any. But for the most part, I actually have, just dormanted follicles, which are still there. So they can, under the right circumstances of treatment, they can be put back in the anagen stage of growth. So that is the issue that I'm dealing with, is trying to get my hair back in the anagen stage of growth. Versus my hair is now in, I think, telogen, which is, the shedding. I keep shedding like a dog, and this hair stays perpetually the same. Like, this hair grows back in all over the sides and everything else, my edges, everything, but this section and then right here is staying dormant. Good, thick, tougher hair right here, very thin, sparse all through here. And I already know that a hair follicle sample, a mineral analysis, is going to run me about $300 to $400 to do. And then from there, I had to go through a series of changing my diet after getting the results of where to target. I know my diet is already sucky because of the fact that I process a lot of sugar. Now, one good thing is I have given up Mountain Dew. I haven't drunk Mountain Dew since September, and it's now December. So, wait a minute, am I lying? Did I have any in October? Nope, it was the end of September that was the last time I drank Mountain Dew. Because y'all know I went a whole month without drinking it at all, and then I went back to it. But of course, I've been going to the food banks and stuff, and they stack a girl up with tons of cakes and pies and shit like that. Because once again, I fall in that A-bot category, so can't get no damn stamps. So a girl's been going to and from but here's another thing with that. Once again, the bitch won't even allow me to use the card to even go to a damn food bank. So I only be able to go to the food bank whenever she finds the time to do it. So that's only usually like once a month. We hit up the darn on food banks. Versus if it would have been up to me, I would have been hitting them up every damn week, and I would have been getting my weight back up. I would have been getting my health up. And I know the health is not ideal with cakes and stuff, but it's like a bitch already. I lost over 20 pounds at this point. I got this fan on. I just told y'all it's 50 some degrees. I mean, it's 70 some degrees outside today. Then it'd be 40 some degrees tomorrow. So it's like I'm heating up. My nose is stuffy. See, this is the shit that I'm going through. Stuffed up nose every time, because now one video I got to have the fan on. Then next year I got to darn on turn the motherfucking darn on heat back on. I'm so sick of this. And then it's like, once again, the stress and all this, that, and the third. But it's like, once again, I got to the point where with the seizure, me losing my job, the stress, my Crohn's flaring back up, I shrunk down to like 152. I went from 175 to like 152. So tried to get my weight back up. Right now I'm about like at 163. Still not in the 170s where I want to be, but I'm a little bit better off than what I was at 152. And then you'll never think that I would deal with these types of weight issues with trying to put weight back on, because I was always a chubbier child. Like, I wasn't, plus size, but I was a thick chick when I was young. So who would have ever thought that I would grow up to be dealing with these types of debilitating conditions, where I would actually be trying to stuff my face to keep my weight on, so I'd be sufficient enough to job search where I would not be darn on drowsy and passing out. And then, dealing with somebody who is so insensitive to all of this, who won't even let me use the car to even go to the food bank so I can keep my health up. Because in addition to the cakes and pies, they do give you some, plain, and I've really been enjoying the plantains. But once again, I only get to enjoy them in small doses, because once again, the bitch only allows me to go once a week. And then the one place, the church that gives you the yellow ones, I can't even get to that one. I went to that one time last month, honey. I ain't been able to go back because of this darn on person right here. Because, like I said, it's like she literally thrives off of keeping me in a starvated, a tormented state of borderline starvation and struggling to work. Soon as she found out that my old job was about to put me back on, she actually had an attitude. Yeah, I told y'all about the fact that my job ghosted me. Condoing, I got rehired by Condoing. It's like you literally can't make this shit up. Because I stayed applying throughout all this stress that I'm going through. Despite the fact that this bitch done caused me a good job at the darn chicken plant. It was not a girl's dream job, but bitch, it pays the motherfucker bills. It was $14 an hour. Honey, I'm in my own section. I don't have to deal with no darn on conversing or nothing. It was perfect for my personality type. Because y'all know I'm very introverted to myself. But the girls on my line were, French-speaking Ethiopian Africans. So even when I had to converse, I was actually in good company on that side. Because they first put me on there with my fellow black people. And sometimes not all kin folks skill. This is the darn on the time where I actually prefer my foreign black people. Because obviously with who I am, being, trans and being over here in North Carolina at this darn on chicken plant, y'all got me over here with these darn on alpha males. And granted, there was one African sister that was right next to me. She was good. But she didn't offset the bullshit that I had to deal with the guys over there. So my darn on team lead, I guess she sensed that energy and she put me on the opposite side. I was doing good those few days. It was a whole line of beautiful Ethiopian sisters that I worked with. Honey, occasionally they asked me for, to pass down the sharpener and all that. And, occasionally we conversing La Francais. And, it was peaceful. You wouldn't think it would be peaceful, deboning chicken or whatever. But it was quite relaxing once you got into the swing of it. And once I found out how to operate the saw And, I'm starting, gauging conversations and everything. And then it really helped out with my darn French because I was able to learn more about the dialect of, how French people, speak in Le Francais. Because whenever I speak in French, it's always the European style or the occasional Creole, but I never was really able to get into that because the African French, it is basically the same as European, but the dialect, the tone of which they pronounce certain words can be different. So it was nice starting to learn that. And then it was like you had Nigerians out there and stuff. So I was starting to pick up on some other language. I was like, oh, this really darn gonna be beneficial for your girl. A girl can start darn gonna finally learning some mother tongue languages because also some of them know Amharic, which is the official language of East Africa, So I was going to darn gonna start picking up on some Amharic. I was going to start picking up on some Nigerian, some Ghanaian, and, really become well-versed. So when I get ready to leave here, a bitch can darn gonna go back to some translating jobs, and I can pick up some extra money because now I done picked up on these African darn gone languages, honey. I was even going to work my way up into them teaching me how to darn gonna read some of that darn gone language as well. Because it's like, they got a whole different language system than, the American language system, which is based off of the Greek Latin alphabet. So it's like, that would have been another darn gone benefit if I would have stayed out there. I would have been able to darn gone learn some mother tongue languages because unfortunately that was the only place that I knew that had such a heavy concentration of African immigrants. Now with me being back in the 2-6, there ain't no African people around here. So now I'm darn gone stuck. You know damn well a bitch like me is not about to learn no Amharic nor Nigerian off of darn gone what's that motherfucking site called? Tombstone, Yellowstone, whatever that darn Rosetta Stone. Rosetta Stone ain't about to teach you like a darn gone native can teach you. So it's just something about learning the language from an indigenous person that is from there versus a European that's trying to speak in the language because Rosetta Stone, and they'll teach you from the European sounding white male or white woman voice. And it's like, how in the hell you teaching me an African language? And then the pre-fault setting, y'all don't even have an African darn gone pronouncing the shit. Y'all have this robot in a European sounding voice trying to emulate the tone of a natural African person. So that's what I don't like about sites such as Rosetta Stone versus getting it from the actual people who know it natively because that's their native tongue. So unbeknownst to her, she done caused me that shit too. It's like I was so pissed off for a myriad of reasons when I lost that darn gone job. That could have been me darn gone picking up some darn gone languages. So whenever I was ready to leave there, which was going to be this month, because I told y'all I was only going to be out there 6 months, and then I would have been back on the home job front. I would have been able to then have my past due bills paid off. A bitch credit score would have been in the 600s. I would have had a long enough history out there where I would have then went to the car lot, and then I would have got me my motherfucking car. And then it would have been on like motherfucking popcorn, bitch. That was the goal for this year. I would have been able to hold out to this time this month. Put in my 2 weeks notice. Would have been off by my birthday. Would have been able to relax during my whole birthday week. And then quickly get in on the job front. And then by that time, I would have been able to have a good understanding of at least one of the African languages under my belt, in addition to perfecting my French in the African tongue. So now I would have been able to understand African French. I would have been able to understand Louisiana Creole, in addition to the regular Le Francais. So I would have had all the areas of French covered. Now I don't understand Haitian. Unfortunately, there was a couple of Haitians out there, but they didn't work in my department. So I wouldn't have been able to get the contact, connect with them to get the Haitian. That would have been the ultimate right there. But unfortunately, I didn't get the Haitian connect. But the fact that this heifer caused me all of that, in addition to, my paternal situation, which did not go well this year, with trying to find that out. in addition to the job that offered me $20 an hour within my dream field of aesthetics. Lost that this year. So it's just been a series of losses for your damn girl. And I'm trying to change that around come 2020. Because I don't give a damn. I'm telling y'all now. Girl might do something strange for a piece of change. A bitch is approaching 27. And I'm telling you this right goddamn now. I'm not about to be 27 in this doggone apartment for the whole damn year. And I don't give a... And it's not even about an embarrassment to what other people think of me. Because it's like none of you trifling, and this is not even on YouTube. This is on and off YouTube. Oh, you're 26, approaching 27, you at your home with your mother. It's like, well, number one, I was paying half the darn on bills up until this darn on 0.6 months. So it's like technically I only been darn on a deadbeat for the past 6 months as opposed to what some people will believe will be years. So I can care less what people think about that, because from the outside looking in, people look at it like you're 26, you're at home, you still don't got shit going for you. What done happen? What's going on with you? Didn't you go? And then, why don't you go back to school? Why the fuck I'm going back to school for? I done went to school first time, got me a darn gone degree. Done went back and got me a certificate with darn gone a half a dozen certifications. I'm darn gone certified in microderm, certified in LED therapy, certified in darn gone microcurrent, certified in over a half a dozen different fields. Chemical pills. Once again, what am I going back to darn gone school for? I already can't keep up with the motherfucking student loans that I got right now, which they're darn gonna threaten to take my motherfucking little bit of tax that I would get this year from that if I don't find some excuse to put them back in darn gone forbearance status. So I'm already dealing with the darn gone student loans that I got right now. So why is a bitch about to go back and add on to more of that? And what am I going back for? I'll wait. See, motherfuckers say shit like that. Well, why don't you go back to school? Okay, tell me what I'm going back for. Just to darn gonna go back just to be able to get a girl. And because some people think about that because some of them just go to school and they go and take up the cheapest darn gone trade so they can get the money and then spend it on drugs. Well, guess what, bitch? I'm not that cheap. If I'm going back to school to try to get some of the darn gone money to get me enough funds, it's going to be to put towards my business to help me out. And that's not ideal because I'm taking on a debt to get that lump sum of money. Because in the situation that I'm in right now, obviously I can't get a darn gone business loan with a 500 credit score. I once again don't have no family where I can ask for that type of money. Because obviously the well-connected side of my family, and I don't blame them, don't fuck with this side that is darn gone degeneracy. I can't blame them on that. And then it's like my paternal side, obviously my father has money, but for whatever reason, what my mother's done, he won't have no association with me. So he's out the damn question. So what am I to do other than try to find a way to build myself up slowly back in my aesthetics business come 2020? Because school, honey, you still got to go in there and wait 2 months, and then I got to deal with the stress of, the curriculum and all of that. And it's like, I barely survived when I was in there in 2015 because once again, living with an addict, it's like you don't hardly get no sleep some nights because somebody wants to be up darn gone opening, slamming and darn gone bathroom doors and picking out of windows and darn gone shit, and people honking out the darn gone door, and the bitch goes out the door to pay $20 to go get another darn gone hit, and darn gone be up and then darn gone wake up about be late for work and bitch and complain and all that. But you darn gonna put yourself in that predicament where you're late because you was up high up night and didn't want to darn gonna go to sleep until about 7 o'clock in the morning. So how does a bitch supposed to study under those types of darn gone, duress of circumstances? It's like, it's literally stressful. And I had to meditate and darn gonna exercise and do all of that to try to keep my equilibrium in check as it is, to maintain a little bit of sanity that I had. Shoot, I almost got to the point where I almost wanted to take myself out of here. I had to darn gonna do a video with y'all almost on talking about ending my darn gonna self. That's how darn gonna difficult it got. So when people say, well, why don't you go back to darn gonna school? I look at them like they darn gonna stupid. Because it's like, okay, you want me to go and try to put myself in more of a stressful situation for a darn gone degree that obviously is not going to work for me. Bitch, you got motherfuckers out here with master's degrees because they're black, cannot get into places of work. So what makes you think that I'm about to darn gonna do it with I got my associates, but if I go back 3 semesters, I can go and get my bachelor's. What the fuck the bachelor's is gonna do? My job career field in this city is dead. There is no darn gone sufficient jobs within my darn gone career field. I might can go into a store and become a but then again, that doesn't really work because they want you to have restaurant experience if you take a management position. But it's like I was the bitch that was focused on school, and then it turns around and bites me in the ass because it's like, you was taught, we was taught when we was young to focus on your schooling, to get you a higher educated trade, and get you a good career field. When you come out, you're gonna be in an upper level field. Honey, that shit don't work when you're in my area. When obviously you're dealing with racism, you're dealing with texturism, you're dealing with limited job opportunities. Whenever an aesthetic job come up, it's like you're one of 500 bitches trying to apply for the motherfucking job. And then it's like you got to stress yourself out trying to get to the job because a bitch don't want the darn gone, for whatever reason, she don't want me to use her car, even though this is a bitch that's got in about 10 accidents within 10 years, and I have a darn gone spotless darn gone driving record. Once again, you can't tell me certain people don't want the darn gonna see it out, the darn gonna sabotage you. I know, y'all. It seems like I'm darn gonna talking in circles. Cause some of y'all already heard some of this story before, and it's like, Juan, what is you gonna do from here? I honestly don't know. The goal is in 2020, hopefully, she might be altruistic enough to at least give me a couple birthday dollars along with some family members. And because I'm out of resources. My darn gone bank account right now is sitting on about $10. Birthday's in 13 days on the 12th. So the best I can hope for is I get enough money to then start posting for beauty services, and then go out and fill those beauty services, and then flip that money and stack up on some skincare and start providing skincare services abroad outside the state of North Carolina. Flip that money again. In addition to, this is still why I'm applying for jobs, y'all. So in addition, hopefully I'll be in a job by then. And then with the money that I make from the skincare sales, so once again, I'm going to work temporarily and transfer the money into doing skincare, because I feel with the position that I'm in, it will make more sense for me to provide, skincare recommendation services versus doing skincare, because I don't have a place to practice skincare on a frequent basis. And obviously, I'm not about to do it out my house full time for obvious reasons. The fact that I'm in an apartment, the fact that I have limited hours, and the fact that I don't have no parking space. At least back in the day, I did have parking space back when it was just the old man that stayed with one car to me, versus now his grandchildren stay there and they take up the whole space. And they got one car that got a muffler problem. The darn gone car sound like a truck. And I'm talking about that bitch darn gone is loud like a motherfucker. So imagine trying to relax during a facial service and you hear a whole loud truck darn gone sounding like a monster truck crank up about 2-3 times. It's like hell no. So it would behoove me to start traveling out to those clients. And then once again, stack up my skincare clientele, because it doesn't matter where the skin products are at, but it matters where you practice skincare. So yeah, that's what I'm doing in 2020. I'm going to start doing skincare consultations online, and then from there start recommending professional skincare products and getting people's skin together virtually until I'm able to get back into a facility. Hopefully by the beginning of February, I will be employed full-time online doing some transcriptions or translations or technical customer support, whichever one hires me first. I done apply for everything at this point. In addition, I've also applied for some jobs within some restaurants. I've even applied for a job down at the university. Maybe I might get a call back from them. I don't know. So, and then that will, stack my money up, and then I can use that money to get me a rental space again and then practice my skincare full time. In addition to invest in my equipment. And that's the only thing that's been holding me back, is the fact that I've been slow on being able to get my equipment. If I can get the right equipment in, I can really be successful in this market. Because in Fayetteville, the demand for a certain service is there. It's just I don't have the equipment to provide said service. And I don't want to mention what the service is just in case any other estheticians are watching and try to beat me to the punch. Because I mentioned some stuff before, and next thing I know, honey, people be watching my shit on the low. I mentioned something before, and next thing I know, somebody took off with my whole idea and made a channel with over 200,000 subscribers. I can't blame them. But honey, I done learned my lesson about darn speaking stuff out in the universe that you can't provide for yourself, and the next bitch probably can. And then they done took your concept and darn ran with it, and you can't necessarily blame them, because they just simply did what you wasn't darn able to do at the moment. So I've learned to keep certain stuff shut until I'm in the process of doing it. So that's all that's been going on with you, girl. One hell of a year. I'm so great. I'm so great that this decade will be over with. I don't darn want to remember nothing of 2019. 2019 ain't been nothing but darn heartache and motherfucking pain. It's been unnecessary stress and darn near-death experiences. From darn seizures, chronic flare-ups. Granted, the eczema is not really severe, but it's still a pain, because it's like, that makes it where I can't do no, aesthetics. It's like, who wants to come to a darn bitch whose skin is currently in a fucked up darn compromised position? So I steady had to keep my skincare up, because of naturally who I am. Like I say, it's just been one thing after another. And I'm just looking for this shit to finally be over with. Like I said, I don't give a damn if I have to be a prostitute, honey. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do, because it's like, can we be vulgar real quick? It's like a girl, like I said, the back door is inaccessible. I don't necessarily know how the topping is going to be. So it's like, I don't make for a good prostitute. I can already tell with me right now, the prostitute route would not even go forward. So it's like, I don't have no choice but just to push forward on the entrepreneur route. Could I become a crack dealer? I thought about that. I don't do crack, so I won't have to worry about darn tapping into my own product. I don't do no drugs, period. So it's like, because the crack dealers I see around here, they darn stay just a step above poverty, they damn selves, because they smoke just as much in weed that they darn selling crack. Or, they have baby mama drama, and they having to pay so much in child support that it just keeps them at a stagnant position. But a bitch like me can easily make 6 figures in this type of market and drive everybody else out of business and become a monopoly. But it's like, do I want to deal with the drama of doggone that, and then a potential felony on my doggone record, and then having my license expunged? And, I mean, granted that I can easily disguise myself, I can easily have people underneath me, and I can really have a cartel. But then you have to deal with the fact of racketeering, and then with my, family and politics, and with me getting more into, political videos and stuff like that, and DNC candidates, that really doesn't look good, because then if that shit gets exposed on me, honey, that'd really be something awkward. Can you imagine they darn gonna flash my darn on face on the news, and y'all be shocked that DivaWuan is out here trafficking hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of cocaine, even though I would have did like Jay-Z. Actually, I would have been better than Jay-Z, because once I got put on, I would have then darn gonna started making, I would have started, proposing, policies towards Congress for $12 an hour. I would have had a whole reparations plan, not the bullshit that darn on Tony Yvette got going on, nor the bullshit that darn on Tariq Nasheed got going on. I actually have a whole quality substance darn on reparations plan, which I can't get pushed off the ground because I'm on a channel that only got 797 subscribers at the time of recording. But if I was to get my darn money up and darn gonna get my influence and stuff up, I can darn gonna propel those issues that would benefit my people overall. Also, I would be able to go abroad and deal with the foreign issues dealing with my ancestors in Africa, specifically the Democratic Republic of Congo, help fix up their infrastructure, help get them from being one of the most poverty-stricken people to a first world nation within just one generation. Within 10 years alone, they would be up to at least a thriving world status where they would be self-sufficient, won't have to depend on any government money, and I can help them get from underneath doggone French colonial rule. Because for whatever reason, they're not one of the 8 countries that have rebelled against France, and I don't know why. It might have to do with that corrupt doggone dictator they currently have over there. Once again, another reason why they need an American doggone black persuasion to help doggone lift up the voices. That's the type of person that I am. I'm a type of person that wants to see my people win both domestic and abroad. But that shit would be tarnished if they doggone catch me out here doggone slinging crack cocaine. But then it's like the hypocrisy that you would judge me, but America was brought up on the institution of doggone drug sales and doggone slavery. But then when a black person does it temporarily to get the money, because I can't get no money by any other means, y'all done block me out of banks, and then justifiably now you make it where I can't get none because my doggone credit's fucked up right now. Don't have no savings. My mother doggone is a crack baby from the 80s, so it's like, honey, no money was passed down from her generation. My father has money, but due to the fact that, she done got estranged from him, she don't want to have nothing, he don't want to have anything to do with me. So now I'm darn gonna punish based off your crack actions from that. So what is a girl to do? So my sense of morale prevents me from even going that route, even though I would be justified in a way. Because then I would darn gonna turn around, because I'm also the person who has proposed for more rehabilitation centers to even be in place, including in states like North Carolina. So yes, I would be creating a problem. I wouldn't even be creating a problem because the problem's already here. I'm just capitalizing off of the problem. But I would at least turn around and fund an actual solution. Because what's going on right now in the white community is they created heroin addicts, and now because it's dominantly white people, now you're making it where, oh well, we ain't going to do nothing to get them off of it. We're just going to create some sanctuary cities. We can't demonize them because then that would be demonizing us, and da 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 da. And so now there's a double standard to be played with white people versus black people. Black people, you had to lock them up, 3 strikes, everything else. White people, sanctuary cities. Oh, well, we need to encourage people to have Narcan on them just in case you see somebody pass out, this, that, and the third. So, with me selling crack, I would at least be altruistic enough not to do it forever. It would be just temporary to stack up six figures to build up legitimate businesses, which would not be considered shell companies, because shell companies is when you stick within the business of drugs and you're funneling the drug monies through your businesses. I wouldn't do that. I would do the opposite. I would actually use the drug money to build my business and then get out the drug business. But some drug dealers, they stay within the business, and then this is what gets them caught up. They get into racketeering charges, and then they get within fraud and all of that, because now you're using your business as a shell business to funnel your drug, usage and stuff like that. Almost like Sonny Corinthos off of General Hospital. Me, on the other hand, it would be the opposite. Honey, let me get $200,000. Honey, I'm out the motherfucking game. And then I build up my influence, and I would do my repentance of sorts by, making sure that there are facilities within Fayetteville and, in surrounding areas to help get those people. And then I would also help pay the cost of the people that I helped serve. But they would not never know it was me directly, because once again, when I'm selling on the street, I would be in full disguise. That way there would not be no links back to your girl, honey. And that would be something I would take to my grave. I don't understand black people who come out and volunteer information that they did not need to volunteer, because I don't think nobody ever knew Jay-Z was a crack cocaine dealer until he darn gonna volunteer the information. Once again, you don't need to bring no unnecessary attention to yourself. I don't give a damn. Just certain stuff that people don't need to know. Because once again, in America, we are, as black people, are treated different. American white people are able to build themselves up off of criminality and drug deals, and it's seen as patriotic, it's seen as glorification, and we can have movies about it. We can have The Sopranos, this, that, and the third. Black people do it, honey. We're still labeled darn gone degenerates to this day. It's to the point where I see motherfuckers on YouTube arguing about black on black crime and degeneracy, even though darn gone black on black crime has been on a constant decrease for the past 6 years. So even when we're showing signs of improving, people still hold that against us, even to the point where they are conditioned fellow black people to darn gonna stone you. So due to all of those factors, and then like I said, with me trying to get more into politics and me maybe wanting to go for Congress someday, it would not behoove me to have a possible drug history on my resume, honey. So yeah. That stopped me from doing the crack cocaine selling, honey. Even though I'm very well educated on knowing how to create it and everything else, and, disguising myself, making sure to have a small enterprise going, and then I'll also be able to get all the fellow co-workers out if they so choose. Now, if you decide to still sell, you won't be selling none of my products anymore, but at least, if you was working underneath me, I would also have a way to get you out the deal as well, and make sure your shit is set up. Make sure you are set up where your credit score is 750. Making sure you are purchasing stuff in a way where you're not drawing attention to yourself. If you're now making $10,000 a week on the street, your ass do not need to be going to the car lot and trying to pay for a motherfucking $50,000 car in cash. No, bitch. Instead, focus on getting a credit card and pay your rent and pay your mortgage with that credit card and pay it off every single month for the next 6 months to a year. Also stack up and get a furniture loan. Don't go to the motherfucking store and buy the furniture outright, motherfucker. No, go and pay for it on the credit card. And what that does is it builds up your credit worthiness. And then if you want that 50-inch flat screen TV, go on and put it on a payment plan. Once again, another line of credit. And then you're paying all that off over time. So by the time a year comes around, you done got the TV paid off, you got the furniture paid off, your car is a fifth of the way paid off. And then if you want to make a huge balloon payment and pay the rest of it off, it doesn't come off as suspect. Sorry, I had to go finally blow my nose, y'all. But like I said, you pay that shit off over a year, it doesn't come off as suspect. It would look a lot more reasonable if you wait until around February of 2021 and pay off the remaining of your car $8,000 versus trying to go to the car lot and pay all the $20,000 at one time. Because anything over $10,000, now you're encouraging them to look into your finances heavy. And then it's like you don't have no job to justify you having this type of income. Bitch, you working at darn Taco Bell on record. You're making $8.25 an hour. But somehow you expect us to believe that you have enough expendable income to drop 20 bands up on a darn car. No. Instead, get you a darn credit card. Get you a secure credit card where you can put darn $8,000 on it. And then you pay your bills off with that every month. If you need to get some gas, pay it on the credit card. You need to go do some grocery shopping, pay it on the credit card. And then when the bill comes every month, just pay that. And that will be stuff that you're doing every single month. Like, you got to pay your bills every month. You got to eat every month. All of that will darn gonna pay you back. If you darn gonna pay it on a credit card, it shows a credit history. Versus you just paying it in cash, it doesn't show nothing at all. That way you can now get yourself up to a $700, a 700 credit score. And then you will be able to then go and get an official loan at that point. That's how you do it. And then, also I have a plan for, home loans and all of that. But I don't go into those talks because it's like, it goes in one ear and out the other, especially like a bitch is in an apartment. So what it look like for me to educate on that moment, even though I have the knowledge to know about doing it. But that's the way I would do it if I was a drug dealer. Get myself out, get myself put on, get myself in the house, have my car, have my business thriving, but also have the people underneath me. They're not going to be out in the cold. I have them transition off of the drug sales into businesses of their own. If they are of the entrepreneur mindset. If they're not, if they need to go to other jobs, okay. But at least you have some money stacked up. Show you how to stack your money up in the bank legally without it being traced. Deposit small amounts in. Make sure it's under $10,000. Make sure you're investing in the stock market, this, that, and the third. Make sure you get into some forex trading. So if you want to still have that hustler mentality, transfer the crack sales over to darn gone economic sales within looking at the stocks. And instead of looking at the projection of the people who are in need of this product this week, look into the projections of the money flow within our economy. So I'll be teaching people economics. Switching people from crack sales to darn on economic sales. Then building up their darn on entrepreneur mindset. And then they're flipping their money and then now they got a legal paper trail. So now you are making $5,000-$6,000 a month instead of $8.25 an hour. So now you got a proven paper trail of darn on making significant money. So now you can darn gonna apply for that FHA loan on your house. If you want to get a modeler home, or if you want to get a house that's already pre-built, or you want to build your own house, you now have anywhere from a $200,000 to a $500,000 loan to darn gonna work with. I was also educate you on making sure that the plumbing and all of that is included if you're trying to go the modeler home route, which is a whole video within itself. All of this is the type of stuff that I would want to be doing in 2020 and beyond. I want to be educating people on economics. I want to be educating people on marketing. I want to be educating people on aesthetics and skincare, body waxing, corrective lighting, all of those issues. I have a myriad of darn gone talent beneath me. And it just goes to waste because of the situation that I'm in. And it's gotten to the point where I've considered illegal activity, but I ultimately, would not succumb to it. So that's why it's taking me a little bit longer, because I told y'all for obvious reasons I wouldn't be a good prostitute. Due to my sense of morale, I would not be a good darn drug dealer. I just simply wouldn't, because of the fear of, the 1% chance that I would get caught. So that 1% chance keeps me in darn line. And I regret it every day. I swear to y'all, because like I said, That'll be the most darn on quickest way to end my darn on worries. But instead, we're going to go with the plan that I iterated earlier. Try to get myself back into the realm of aesthetics with my birthday money that I'm going to get on the 12th. And then flip that into skincare products. In addition to, also, I should either be hired down at the university. Either the university, somebody's darn on restaurant, or online. And then that's another problem. I got a 15-inch laptop. Most jobs want you to have dual monitor desktop computers. So that would be another goal that I would be focusing on. I had to turn down several jobs that also wanted to hire me because I did not have the equipment. I was hired by Williams Sonoma. I know I'm mispronouncing that. But I was hired and everything, and I had to turn down the job because I didn't have a 19-inch monitor. I could have gone and got my drug test and all that. That's the one thing that bitch couldn't stop me from doing, because that's within the bus route. We do have city buses in Fayetteville, but obviously the city buses only go so far. So it's like, when it came to Raleigh, obviously they don't travel outside the city, so I couldn't use the city bus to go to that job. Another job wanted me, but it was outside the realm of the bus route. And then once again, this bitch don't want me to use her damn car. So that job got denied. So I have not suffered from a lack of job opportunities. It's just because I don't have a car, I cannot get to said jobs. And that's put me in more of a strenuous circumstance. And like I said, it would help real much if I actually had the support. But when you have somebody who's working against you, it makes it even hard. It'd be something totally different if I was just flat broke and I was dealing with this myself. But when you actually have somebody who's going out their way to try to keep you here with them in their misery, it works against you. So that's my goal for 2020, to get the fuck away from here as well, because you have low vibrational doggone crackheaded snakes that would doggone try to keep you doggone as miserable and low down with them. And then doggone try to blame your situation on you, even though looking back, you haven't done nothing wrong other than stuff that you could not control. Could not control me, getting cancer. Could not control me getting Crohn's disease. Cannot control me being born with doggone eczema. Cannot control the stress that has been put upon me. Could not control me not knowing who my father was. That was your doggone fault in that situation right there. And then when you learned who my biological father is, and within the same city, you still did not do anything to correct that wrong. Like I said, y'all, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, of course, for y'all that's been following me for some years, y'all know I've dealt with a whole myriad of other stuff in between that, from being shot at, knife pulled out on me. I would never forget the bitch that pulled the samurai sword out on me. That's one for the history books. And then just the list goes on and on. I mean, even the darn job with the racist darn boss at the Kirby, and dealing with all of that issue right there. Then my darn team lead dying on me, and then going through that darn stress. I mean, like I say, it's just been a whole lot these past several years. So I am ready to throw this whole damn decade away. This whole decade could go. From the very beginning of the decade, like 2009, going into 2009, my grandmother passed, during a week before Thanksgiving. And that led into a depression in 2010. Then you go up to 2011, once again, cancer. 2012, the darn graduation of the sucky ass high school I went to. Then 2013, the homelessness. And then going into, my mother darn ran out on me. A cancer darn tried to creep back up on me. Come out the hospital, find a eviction note on the door. So led me being with my aunt for 6 months. Got into my own place. My darn this is where I fucked up. My mother darn burnt her bridges everywhere else. Even though she left me to darn gonna suffer, I tried myself being kind and I invited her to come to my place. So once again, I'm back to with my mother, but people don't realize my mother was staying with me versus I'm not staying with her. It's like this time you're in my house, I'm the head of the lease. I'm putting in the, but then it's like the toxicity comes back again. Then the stress and all of that gets put on me, the medical issues, all that, just for me trying to help your ass out. Finally kick you out, wasn't soon enough, Dargon dealt with a setback, then school issues on top of that, made me have to go out a month, went back to school. Needless to say, lost my darn old house, went and stayed with my girl pile 6 months. Meanwhile, I got him back into school in the fall, while still being in a state of homelessness, going to the darn library several times a week to uphold my darn program, while also still being homeless. Go with my aunt in the winter. Me and my mother get another apartment in the spring. Enroll full time in the spring. Y'all know, and then the rest is history. Became an esthetician the following year, 2016 election. My great grandmother died literally 6 days before the election. I darn gonna get hired on to Kirby the day after the darn gone election. The turnout that I'm working for a boss who's a glorified Trump supporter and has a proclivity to darn gonna throw out racial darn derogatory languages, making, fun of he was an equal opportunity racist, like making fun of Native Americans, stereotypes about black people with kinky hair. Because I remember when they saw me with the wig, they had this backhanded compliment talking about, oh, you don't got typical black folk hair. Your hair is actually curly. See, we usually we don't allow, because at first when they thought, the first person, knew my teeth. Because this was the beginning of the, when I came into myself under the title of transgender. But, once again, did not accurately look the part. So, the ones who still saw me in the male aesthetic talking about, he said we typically don't allow men to have hair, but since you have more of the, quote, curly hair, we allow you to pass. See, that was the first red flag. Now, bitch, what are you trying to say? So, you trying to say, which if my shit was type 4, which it is underneath this hair, you would have a problem. Because, once again, my hair underneath the wig at the time is longer than the wig. Because the wig, y'all seen my wig, is about right here. But at the time, my hair was over 20-some inches long. So, when they did see my hair, then there was the other backhanded compliment. That, oh, your hair, oh, what happened to your hair? It's a little bit more, well, this is my natural hair. I'm not wearing no wig today. But then here comes, oh, well, it's not like, it wasn't a grave review as it was when I had the 3A, 3B curly in. When they saw the 3C, 4A, 4B, it was like, it's nice, it's acceptable. Like, I had that response. And then it came the engine comments, the Oriental comments. Then the darn boss's son slipped up with a couple of N-word comments, and then that what threw me for a loop right there. Got away from that darn job. Started doing my aesthetics again. Business darn booming. Then came the hurricane season. That what really did a girl in. It was like hurricane back to back really did my business in, and that's when all shit hit the fan, where I started having to look for work from home jobs. And that's when I started the work from home channel. And I think 2018 I started that channel up, and we started going on the search. And then I started doing translation, temporary translation gig jobs. I then started doing, technical support jobs and all of that. And then I landed my gig with a cable company. That didn't work out because it was a small business sale and I wasn't trying to do that. Got what couldn't do, and I thought that was going to be perfect for me. Did not pass the test. I was so upset about that. And then, Pilgrims, and we just talked about what happened with Pilgrims. And then we done talked about what led into the decline of this year. So that's been my whole decade in a whole nutshell. So once again, throw this whole motherfucking decade away. The start of this new decade, I'm looking to turn over a whole new leaf, honey. I still don't have necessarily a full plan of action, but like I said, hopefully I'm able to flip my birthday money into a way to travel out to a couple clients, to do some waxing and skincare service, flip that money and start doing some skincare sales from homes. And with the price up, that will keep me afloat while also still in the look for job. Hopefully I'll be also employed by that time, because the job at the university supposed to be starting up within the next 2 weeks. So if they look for me, hopefully I'll be getting a call, this upcoming week for that job. If not, the home-based business jobs that I've looked into, they're hiring at the end of January to the beginning of February. So while I'm in the midst of, being temporary back in the aesthetics industry and then doing skincare from home on the side, I'll be also trying to also hold down a full-time job. I'm going to need both of those to stack me up enough money to get the fuck up out of here. Because once again, since I don't have no support system, I don't have no way of paying down a deposit or anything out the blue. In North Carolina, we make $7.25 an hour for entry-level work, which is why I tried my best to try to avoid those types of jobs at all costs. Because I'm trying to get in a situation where I can get the fuck away from here. And at $7.25 an hour, that is just sadly is not going to do it. But at $14 an hour, and damn sure at $20 an hour, that would have been able to do it. And that's why that bitch tried everything to keep me darn gone stagnant. From darn gone encouraging me, trying not to get back out. Like, I'm literally darn gone about to be wheeled into the hospital. And this bitch is literally talking about, oh, well, you don't got to come back here, this, that, and the third. What the fuck you mean I don't got to come back here? This is my own mother trying to encourage me not to come back to a darn gone job, paying me $14 an hour. But then you don't want to help me get no jobs within my own town, though. Like I said, 2020, I will be doing away with darn gone sabotaging darn gone snakes. I will be focusing even harder on trying to get my business back up while also trying to maintain my job. It's been a pain. It's been darn gone. Lord knows it's been a pain. But hopefully 2020, I think it's finally going to be my year. It's finally going to be a year of change, honey. From hair change, even if I just decide to get me a blonde wig instead. Because it's like, once again, financially, I can't even see myself starting off on coloring my hair next month because of the fact that the funds are low. So I'm going to have to push that back to February. But I'm thinking I'm still going to change my hair this year. It's like, bitch, I've been virgin for 8 years now. It's time for a drastic change. I want to change everything. Go ahead and get a new set of teeth. And it's not just for vanity, because once again, within the field that I work, it will actually help me out. So I know some people thinking, well, Juan, you going through all this, you still on the talk of darn on teeth bleaching and hair. Once again, all of that actually works to my advantage. Unlike some people who just want to do it for vanity, within the field that I'm in, keeping myself up on top tier will actually drive more clientele towards me. Because once again, it's like, you wouldn't go to a dentist with jacked up teeth. So you wouldn't go to a cosmetologist with jacked up hair. You wouldn't go to an esthetician who is suffering from full-blown acne and ingrowns and, hyperpigmentation. It's like, bitch, how the hell you supposed to get my skin together and you looking worse than me? So it's like, by default, I got to keep myself up. So 2020, I would definitely be doubling down on that. Making sure somehow, some way, I get this hair grown. Now, granted, I gotten to the point, thanks to C Brazil products. Shout out to Stephanie Lanes, owner of C Brazil. Her darn on bump cream makes it where now this hair no longer gives me the bumps no more around me. But still, I deal with the occasional darkening in this area. Because I'm a Fitzpatrick number 5, whenever I shave, I induce melanin synthesis that is too much in this area and it darkens. And unfortunately, I have not been able to stack up on the proper lightening products to counteract that. So since I have not had my lightening products to counteract that, this area has been getting dark. But fortunately, my shea butter mixed in with some of the vitamin C I have left has been able to keep it down enough where it's not too dark. It's still darker than my natural skin tone, but not as substantially as it would be if I did not have those two, along with the little bit of black seed oil that I do have left. Works wonders on the rest of my skin, but unfortunately that's another problem, is it's inducing the hair growth right here, which is a no-no. So I need to get back on my regular facial serums instead of the black seed oil, because once again, the black seed oil, it does good for the skin, but unfortunately it also induces hair growth. I wish it would have induced the hair growth right here, but black seed oil wasn't able to quite save my hair right there. I need some more advanced treatments for that, but I can't focus on that until I get other stuff together first. So that is my life in a nutshell in 2019. Y'all just simply darn gonna pray for me, y'all. I know that this video was long enough, but this was my end of the year review of my sucky life throughout this whole year, this decade, and me not letting it get to me and trying to push forward in the year 2020. 2020, I finally see, is going to be my year change. We're going to speak that up into existence. So y'all wish me much luck on this darn forever stressful journey that I'm going through. Feel free to thumbs up, give me some comments and suggestions, and I'll see y'all soon with more videos. Starting off the new year, I will at least be more shaven for the next video. I just didn't want to shave today because it's like the way my hair is growing back so fast. Once again, I'm down to using my black seed oil because I ran out of all my other oils for the time being. Keeps my skin clear, but unfortunately it grows my hair in super fast. So yeah, that's why y'all got this full face going on right now. But once I start doing laser hair removal, I don't have to worry about this at all. And then it's like, since my hair genetically is still short, I won't have to go through no full 10 rounds. More likely, I would just have to go through about like 5 rounds and all of this. Because this is the thing. I do not grow in full hair. My hair grows in at a stubble, and this is about as much as it grows. Just enough where you can tell that I have hair, but it's like, it's almost as if it just, how can I say? This is like a week's worth of growth. Versus the average male, this will be like a day's worth of growth. My hair genetically does not grow in full, but it grows in enough where it's irritating, especially for me. Because it's like no girl wants to have any amount of hair on her darn face. So, yeah, once again, this is a goal for me, is to get rid of this damn hair, get my teeth right, get my job secure. That's all I want. Like, god damn it. Why? It's like, I don't want no handout. I don't want no, I mean, it would be nice, but it's like, I just want to be blessed with the job so I can get my own money. I just want you to make it where I don't have to deal with sabotaging bitches that are gonna try to prevent me from getting to the damn money. And if you bless me to get for me to get to know my father, it's like, it would help me just to learn my medical history. It's like, for whatever reason, if you want to not help me out financial wise, for whatever reason, because of whatever my mother did, okay, I don't understand it, but it's like I at least should be able to get to know the other side as far as, my other medical history and what other stuff I might be prone to, instead of being surprised down the damn road. So, yeah, that's all in a nutshell, y'all. Hopefully, I can get most of that turned around. Obviously, the paternal issue, I might just have to chop that up, honey. But everything else, for the most part, I can correct in 2020. So y'all wish me much luck on that. And come the new year, I will actually be seeing y'all with some actual uplifting videos. We'll get back into the politic talks, the gossip, and all of that. That is more fun for me to do, because I know y'all love my personal life story, but right now, it ain't nothing darn gonna happy about it. That's why I don't like to do these personal videos anymore, because every time I talk about it, It's more like a Debbie Downer situation. And I ain't that type of bitch where every time I jump on camera, I want to be, talking on some down shit. I like to be, keep myself up and motivated, especially with me suffering from depression and all of that. I like to do more uplifting videos. So that's why y'all get these personal vlogs rare nowadays until I'm able to turn my situation around. So let's hope into turning my situation around. So when I get to doing vlogs in 2020, there will be more positive, uplifting videos that are worth sharing versus, me dwelling down in misery. So that is it, y'all. See y'all soon. Happy New Year.